So we're in Shenzhen, China with Greg Purcell, teacher at Sea Dragon, and we've got our field reporter for Teach ESL Korea and Teaching ESL China. What's your name over here, kid?
Jordan.
Okay, excellent. So Greg, maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what made you think to come to China?
Well, I'm from Los Angeles. I love basketball. I love warm weather, and I came to China just to try something. I wanted to try a new city in Asia, and I felt like it'd be a nice choice.
Perfect. And so have you lived in Asia before then?
Oh yes, I was fortunate enough to be recruited to Asia through wonderful Teach ESL Korea.
That's us, Jordan. Yay!
And my first stint was in the Seoul area of Korea. Dan got me a great Hagwon job there, and I stayed there for a little over a year. And I wanted to learn Chinese, so that was one of the actually main reasons why I moved to China.
Perfect. What would be a couple initial thoughts, differences between life in China and life in Korea?
Well, life in Korea, there's 4 seasons, so you have 4 different feelings throughout the year. And me being from Los Angeles, I'm used to 2 seasons. So after 2 winters in Korea, I guess I said enough is enough. And I looked south to Shenzhen, China, and Shenzhen is about 4 hours south on a plane from Seoul. So the weather is akin to Los Angeles. It's pretty much 2 seasons, but it's a little more humid here. But it's sunny. We can go out every day. Everyone's smiling all the time. In Korea, in the winter, everyone's cold. We want to go inside. So that was some differences. The food, some of the differences in Korea, they like to eat kimchi for their meals every day. And
Do you like kimchi?
yeah, I love kimchi.
Yep, me too.
And China, it's a little bit more varied.
Yep.
They have their own kimchi here, I guess. So food's different, language is different.
What about the teaching environment in your school? How does it compare between the two?
Well, I first started at Hagwon, and I only worked in Hagwons in Korea, so I don't know the public school environment in Korea.
Yep.
However, from the Hagwon to the public school is like night and day. I just feel like the public school is a lot more relaxed. In the Hagwon, I had to actually eat lunch with my kids. So I don't know. I'm sure.
So you didn't get a break from them, essentially, right?
Yeah, I didn't get a break at lunch. I had to eat with the kids. Lunch was good, at least. It was provided with me. However, it was just really go in Korea.
What kind of a work schedule during the week would you have in Korea compared to China? Like, when did you start your workday in Korea, and when did you finish?
Korea, I started 8:30. Or no, 9:30.
Yeah.
Korea, I started 9:30 and I finished around 6.
Okay.
9:30 to about 2 p.m. was kindergarten. 2:30 to 6 was elementary and middle school students.
Okay. Yep.
So here I have to start a lot earlier because it's public school, 8 a.m. to around 5 p.m. Lunches here are much longer, over 2 hours for public school. And
Are you allowed to sleep on your lunch break?
yeah, we get a fabulous nap, which is unheard of in America.
Yep.
And in Korea, it's unheard. I don't know in Korea if they do nap, but at my Hagwon, no one naps.
Yeah.
Maybe public schools do, but I don't think in Korea they take naps.
How many classes do you teach a day in China or a week in China?
I teach around 15.
Yep.
15 to 16 classes.
And compared to how many were you in Korea? Do you remember?
Class after class.
Like 30 or 35 classes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about what I would have suspected. Good. Jordan, do you have any questions for Greg?
How do you like the food in China?
China, food is it's good. They have. I didn't really eat many noodles in Korea, so I'm starting to eat noodles a lot more here. Noodles, I think they mix it with varied vegetables like noodles and potatoes and beef and onions.
Is it pretty spicy, the food here?
Yeah. They put a lot of peppers in their food here. It's pretty spicy. The rice is pretty standard with every meal here.
Yep. When you go out for a lunch or dinner, when it's not provided for free by your school, which is a nice thing with public school, how much do you generally pay? What would you estimate? If you just go on a dinner by yourself on a Wednesday night, what do you generally pay?
So for a Chinese dinner,
Yeah, for a Chinese dinner, yeah.
roughly $3 or $4 USD.
Okay.
$4 US dollars if I want to get the basic.
Yeah.
If I want to get maybe a real fancy, maybe $8 US dollars.
Okay.
And that's a really, you're paying $8 US dollars for a really decent.
That's an extensive meal, right?
Yeah, pretty decent meal.
Yeah, good. What about meeting people in Shenzhen? Have you found it okay to be able to meet other teachers or Chinese friends?
Yes, I felt the Chinese. I felt actually the Chinese to be more friendly than Koreans in general.
Yeah.
In Korea, they're friendly if they know you first. But I felt in China, it's easier to make friends on the street
Okay.
or in the subway.
Yeah.
Just meeting random people.
Yeah. They're more approachable then, probably.
Yeah, I feel that in Shenzhen, people are more approachable. It might also have to do with the weather.
Okay.
Maybe it's a warmer climate. People are smiling more.
Yeah.
Maybe if I go north to Beijing, maybe that's a similar climate to Seoul, so maybe the people are similar.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
it might just be different countries.
What about meeting people of the female persuasion in China compared to Korea?
It's definitely easier to make friends with girls here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from a few people. So, excellent.
Yes.
Would you recommend teaching and living in China to your friends?
Absolutely. I think it's a pretty good lifestyle if you want to experience the Asian culture. If you want to learn a new language. If you want to see, see a different way of life.
Yep. Have you traveled outside of Shenzhen during your time here?
I've been to Guangzhou. I've been to Taiwan. And I've been to Hong Kong. And each place has a different feeling.
Yeah. Good.
Each city has a different feeling around
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that I've heard from other people as well. Compared to Korea, can be a little homogeneous after a while. A lot of the country, other than Seoul being a little bit more westernized, the cities are rather similar, like Daegu, Gwangju, Daejeon, Mokpo. One might be bigger than the other, but the mindset and even the style and design are very, very similar in Korea. Whereas in China, I think that it is very culturally different because it's.
Yeah, like from Hong Kong to Shenzhen, it's Hong Kong's next door, but you feel like you're in a different country.
Oh, it feels like it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Did you find it easy or difficult to find a place to rent in Shenzhen?
I found it fairly easy. I actually had my apartment before I got here when I first arrived in 2015. Sea Dragon was great on establishing an apartment ready for me prior to arrival. So I got to see the pictures on through email of the apartment that I wanted.
Through somebody who was already teaching here?
Through the recruiters at Sea Dragon.
Okay, yes,
They helped me
okay.
find the apartment before I arrived.
Good. Yeah.
And they sent me the pictures, and so I was able to, they sent me a few different apartments, a few different pictures of different apartments, and I was able to distinguish which one I liked the best.
Good.
And so that's a good option. They give you two options. You can also come first and then go look at the apartments yourself in person.
Okay.
And then you're just gonna have to maybe pay for a hotel for a week or find someone else to stay with.
Yep.
Or they may also provide you a temporary place to stay with a roommate.
Okay.
If they have, a temporary residence. So there's different ways to go about it.
Yep.
In Korea, I think you have to live in the apartment that they provide. No questions asked before you.
Pretty much, yeah. Especially as a first-time teacher, that's definitely the case. Yeah, I do like in China how you have a little bit more freedom. That if you wanted to maybe pay more and have a nicer place, you can. If you want to save some money and trim your costs, you can decide to live in a smaller place. Or if you want to maybe go farther away from your school because it saves you a little bit of money, you have that choice in China. Or if you want to come with your girlfriend or boyfriend or even your kids, you can rent a bigger place accordingly. Whereas in Korea, those things are not really not easy to manage at all.
Right. So if you're the type of person that wants a little wiggle room on how you want to live your life, China might be an easier or a better step for the more adventurous person.
Yep.
If you want a solid foundation or just everything set up for you, Korea will take care of everything.
Yep.
Take care of my bags when I'm out of the airport. Koreans are very polite and helpful.
Good.
So,
Do you have a co-teacher in class?
no co-teacher. Korea, Hagwon, I didn't have a co-teacher either. I believe the public schools did provide co-teachers in Korea.
Do you wish you had a co-teacher? Is it okay to handle a class of 50 or 60 kids without a co-teacher?
It's okay for the older grades.
Yep.
I teach grades 1 through 6.
Yep.
Grades 3, 4, 5, 6. No co-teacher is okay. Grades 1 and 2, sometimes it's nice to at least have someone present with you at the beginning of class to kind of set the tone.
Yeah.
Because the kids are a little bit more...
Do you think most Sea Dragon teachers do have a co-teacher in class with them, especially for those younger ages? I thought most of them would. I don't know, though.
I think some of them do.
Okay.
Maybe it's just school-based.
Yeah. Or maybe your co-teacher is just taking an extra nap during the day at that time.
How do you like the air quality in Shenzhen?
The air quality, I haven't really thought about it. I don't see... People really don't wear masks here.
Yep.
We get plenty of blue days. Shenzhen is the best big city in China for air quality. It's top. Guangdong is one of the top provinces in China for air quality. And
Yeah, I agree. The amount of blue sky days that we've had in the last 4 months, like it's blue again today,
Yeah.
as we can show. It's, I don't know if you can see that,
we got
but
a pretty good blue day here.
it's a pretty decent sky.
So I think the air won't be a problem.
Yeah, there are some days, I remember like a month ago there was a couple days that were bad, and about 2 weeks before that there were a couple days that were bad, but I agree, generally for the size of the city, I think the air is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And lots of green space I find within the city, so I think the trees do a really nice job of absorbing some of that like smog and pollution. So.
And there's a lot of rain.
Yep.
76 inches of annual precipitation in Shenzhen. That's 5 times more than Los Angeles, where my hometown is. So the rain actually helps wash out the bad air too, I think.
What do you like to do outside of work for like hobbies?
Hobbies. I like to play the guitar and study Chinese. And Shenzhen is a good place to learn Chinese because I did find out when I went to Taipei, the English level was very high in Taipei. So right here, we're at KFC, the cashiers in Taipei might try to speak to you in English.
Okay.
But if you're looking to learn Chinese, like you're kind of forced to be able to at least communicate on a basic level.
How's your Chinese speaking these days?
It's getting better.
Good.
It's getting better.
Good for you. Congratulations. Okay. How do you find living in Shenzhen on your income that you make from Sea Dragon? Are you able to sort of get by comfortably month to month? Do you save any money? Sort of what are your thoughts on that income compared to quality of life?
I can save roughly half of my paycheck. So that's 5,000 RMB every month.
Yep. Yep.
And
How much is your apartment that you rent?
a little over 3,000.
Okay.
Almost 4.
Yeah.
They're raising a little bit.
What about private lessons, even from either from a personal perspective, yourself or any of your friends? Do people find them easily? How much do they pay?
Yeah, it's pretty not too hard to find privates. You probably get it around at least 300 RMB, 200 to 300, depending on the 200 is the bare minimum.
Yeah.
300 is what you can easily get.
Good.
So
Good.
I couldn't, making that's pretty good, sizable income.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Compared to what somebody's willing to pay me in Canada, to do an hour's worth of anything for them, it works out to be very good. So, good. Any other final thoughts on somebody who might be considering coming to Shenzhen or China or Sea Dragon to teach English?
I think it's...
Oh yeah, tell me about the support maybe from Sea Dragon and your company specifically.
Sea Dragon's support has been phenomenal. They have Chinese staff that are there to help us 24/7. They have like a Sea Dragon hotline where we can call them if we're in trouble.
Good.
So they're always there to help us with banks, phones, the common household.
Translating help if you probably really needed it, if it was
So
important. Yeah.
anything that's doable that they can do, they're willing to help within reason.
What about the weekly events that Sea Dragon does? Do you go to any of those on the
Yeah.
Monday afternoons?
I've been to some Chinese calligraphy activities. I went to a cool art area of Shenzhen. I got to see a bunch of Chinese people doing nice artwork outside.
Nice.
They like to. I know they've had a hiking event.
Yeah. And is that a good way to meet other native English teachers that are in Shenzhen as well with Sea Dragon?
Right. Yeah, because
Yep.
all the natives every Monday that they have the native English teachers are invited to these events.
Good. Excellent. Any other final comments?
So come to China. It'll be a great experience for you.
Good. Excellent. Thanks, Greg. We really appreciate your time.
All
I
right.
appreciate your time. Jordan, thanks a lot. We're here in KFC, so anyone who's nervous that they won't be able to get Kentucky Fried Chicken when they're in China, don't worry, they're all over the place. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.
All right.